the Ultra bag of Nutro has like a big thing on the back, all the different things. And of course the Nutro guy's at the, the chain pet store, and he's like, oh, well, the dog needs this because if he's eating this, he needs alfalfa. Is that
well,
something?
dogs are considered carnivores, so everything else is sort of extra.
Gravy.
Yeah. Cats are actually strict carnivores, where they actually can't digest vegetable sources of nutrients, but dogs can do some vegetable sources of nutrients. So I think it depends. I don't know, I feel like a lot of that is, most of us feel like a lot of that is overlaid from human, because we are omnivores, we eat meat and vegetables, and we get a lot of our nutrients from like alfalfa,
Yeah.
But dogs and cats are not the same. With feeding table scraps, so if you're comparing you're feeding your dog Old Roy versus table scraps, for sure your table scraps are going to be higher quality. Absolutely, 100%. There's going to be no fillers, and there's going to be a balanced amount of nutrients, because you're probably eating a fairly balanced diet, over the course of a week. You may not be eating exactly that day what is exactly on the bag, but over the course of a week, you're probably eating a balanced diet. Most people do. So when you're looking at that situation, yeah, for sure, table scraps are. I have no problem with table scraps as long as the dog is okay, and you're cutting and you're moderating the calories on the other end. Like I had my dog that she just passed away, but I was always struggling with her weight. So she couldn't eat a lot of table scraps. But the dog I have right now, he can eat whatever he wants, and he does great. So I think it's a really individual basis too. A lot of it has to do with breed. Some of the breeds are more metabolically efficient. Well, a lot of them are bred to have like an extra layer, especially the Labradors. We feel like, they go in the cold water all the time. They have that extra layer. They're very efficient. They're starving all the time. So it's kind of a struggle keeping them. If you feed them too little, then they're going to start getting in the trash. And so my feeling about food is that it's only important if your dog's not doing well.
Okay.
If your dog's doing well, I think whatever you're feeding is probably fine. I don't really recommend, I don't think there's one food that's perfect for every dog. I get the best results most consistently with Science Diet, but do I think that's the best food for every dog? No. But it seems to me that when I recommend that, most of the time the dogs do well.
So say somebody wants to up their ante and change, or they need to change their dog food. What is the golden rule, I guess maybe you would call it, in transitioning?
7 days.
7 days.
Yeah.
And you start with 75% of the old food and say 25, or is there a specific measurement?
No, just gradually. If your dog has a sensitive stomach, like if you have a poodle, or a Wheaten Terrier or something that tends to vomit, you definitely want to go more slowly.
Yeah.
And some dogs are picky, especially the toy breeds. So toy breeds may turn their nose up to a healthier food, honestly, in the beginning. So it may actually take you a couple of weeks to a month to transition them over to a healthier food. And a lot of mistakes that we make is that, oh, he doesn't like it, he's not going to eat it. But really, it's just that it's new and they're not used to it. The older the pet, the harder the more difficult changes for them. This is what I've been eating, this is what my body knows. And a lot of times we do make diet recommendations for older pets with lower protein and lower salt. Those are like the main things that we look for. So the hidden traps in a house, like for pets. If your pet's overweight or your pet's an older pet, cheese is like I think the biggest culprit in terms of calories and salt, because cheese is heavily salted, and we use cheese for like pills, we use cheese for like everything, we dress it up. So I usually encourage owners to really cut down the cheese. And
what about peanut butter?
Peanut butter, well, you can get the low salt kind, but regular peanut butter is heavily salted.
Okay.
For pets. Humans have a different sort of grade, but for pets, it's way too salty. So yeah, peanut butter sparingly. Again, if your dog's doing well,
Yeah.
and your dog's in good body condition, and bowel movements are good, and you know, that kind of stuff, then don't worry about the
Wonderful.
food. It's fine. Honestly, my mom feeds her Bichon Beneful. He does fine on
Yeah.
it. You know, I mean, I don't get too excited about food, but if the dog's not doing well, then we need to look at it.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
But I think
my
table scraps
pug.
are fine.
she would eat all day.
Yeah.
That's a
Most pugs
dog
will.
that, you know, I go to feed her she eats in the morning, she eats at night. And you would think that this dog was
Well,
starving.
she told me that last time I saw her.
Yeah.
She said you hadn't fed her.
Yeah.
Since the last time she'd been there.
That's right. She's
Ah.
she just screams and screams and
What's in the treat jar?
so cute. And it's really, you know, and in the beginning, you know, when I first got her, I didn't really, you know, I was so used to Shadow, which
Yeah.
you know, he ate, well, he got chicken cooked for him, but he had a bigger appetite than, well, I don't know if he had a bigger appetite than her, but he certainly was a bigger dog than she was, and so she is. And so I went in there one time, and she was telling me, well, I'll only give her a quarter of a cup of the food in the morning. And I was like, but the bag says, you know, yeah, but that's for a dog that's very active, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And so she goes over to the drawer and she gets out this cup. I mean, it's so small. It's a quarter of a cup. She says, here, use
It's like the coffee scoop.
Yeah.
That's what we call
Oh, God. It's so small. And she just wolfs it. She wolfs that food like there's no tomorrow, you know? And, but they're really, the pugs are really hungry all the time.
You know, they're very bright too. So sometimes we'll recommend, if they're acting out, we'll recommend food toys. My favorite is a Buster Cube, but there's all kinds. If you go,
Oh, yes.
where you put the
I got
actual
that.
meal.
I got the
she like it?
cube. Well, she likes it. I don't like it.
It is annoying, especially when it gets under the couch. And
That's the first thing she does. It goes underneath the couch.
And they're trying to get
it. Just
it.
roll.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it definitely can slow down that. So
Yes, but
it's a little toy. It's a combination lock, and they figure out how to roll it to get
yeah,
the
they
little
roll
a
it
piece
and
of
the
kibble
food
out.
Comes out.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it takes them a little bit to figure out how to roll it, and then they'll bat it around and they'll get a kibble out when they do the right
Yes.
combination. And it usually extends feeding out to like half an hour as opposed to 30
Yeah.
seconds.
Yes, and that's what she gets. 30 seconds.
It's really great for
And you know,
Intelligent dogs.
As far as treats go, you know, they have many treats out there that are, you know, she loves the chicken strips, you know, those kind of things, but they're all made in China. Now, if they're made in China, they're not going to be looked at like.
treats or not. Correct. Yeah. Just I'm always careful with treats. I go with treats
Yeah.
where I know the company.
Mm-hmm.
So Science Diet is something where they're going to stand by their brand name.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with treats is that, yeah, they're not regulated as closely as food.
Yeah, and the
Treats are just so salty. You know, salt is directly related to palatability or yumminess factor. So that's with us too, right? So they definitely salt treats. So I always worry about that.
Yeah.
You know, you can make your own treats.
Well, those chicken strips, I finally found some made in the USA through, I think, Foster Smith's
Oh,
book.
good.
Okay, and yesterday I was in the supermarket, and as far as treats go, I was looking at, I found this Blue Dog stuff. It's kind of a new, well, I don't know how long they've been around, but the name of the company is Blue Dog, and they had some nice treats, and I read it, and it says proudly made here in the USA. So would that be still regulated under the FDA because it
I don't
was
know the
a
answer
treat?
to that. I'll need to find out.
Yeah, that would be something to find out because
My opinion
it
would be
is.
that the manufacturing companies would be a little bit more closely monitored here, but I don't
Yeah.
actually know the
She
answer.
loves them.
Oh, I bet.
Oh,
Come on,
they
Molly likes
are.
everything.
Yes.
Well, the treats that I use are the science diet that I feed my dog. The kibble is large enough that I use it. I just fill the treat jar with it, and since he loves it, that way I know, because I have small children, that when they're going to give him a treat, they're giving him something nutritious, and he's not filling up on crap. So
Well, I can't believe we're up at. Look at the
Yeah,
time.
it's that time of day
That's
already.
how quick it went. And so I want to thank you so
Oh,
much
my
for
pleasure.
coming in. I hope
Thank
everybody
you.
got some good information.
you didn't get
And
any
I
calls.
want you to come back.
Oh,
Yeah, it's hard to get calls in because there's only 3 of us here. Diane and poor Steve. Steve can't answer the phone and run our pictures
We
too.
could put the phone right here.
Oh, yeah.
We could do that with a cordless. We could.
Yeah,
Yes.
put it right here.
Well, maybe we should
Yeah.
think about that for future.
I would
Okay.
All right.
I hope
So I
you're
just
going to come back.
Exit stage, right?
Well,
No, I
we're
did.
waiting for Steve to say, we're off.
Oh, say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.